is Molly? I mean, we all know her, but do we really know her? Like, why was she released and retired 3 times? And why is she the one of the American Girls that is most well-known, but also most unknown? Let's get into it. Molly was released in 1986 along with the other 2 dolls, Samantha and Kirsten, as a line of dolls helping to teach children about the American history. The dolls were released coinciding a couple of books before later being released as a set of 6 books along with the doll and a couple of outfits. Molly, of course, is set in 1944, as we all know, and she has her signature 2 braids and is very similar looking to Samantha. Now, if you didn't know this already, the Romina doll is what the American Girls were based off of, and she's most closely resembling, of course, Samantha, but if you look at her, you can definitely see a lot of Molly. She has the same hair color, and of course, she has the same face mold, and so that is where Molly gets her looks from. It is the Gotts dolls. You can usually find a white body Molly that is signed from anywhere from $2,000 to $10,000 depending on what the number is and what condition she is in. Now, what are some rare Molly items? If you really want to deep dive into what are some of Molly's rare items, I of course recommend I Dream of Johnny, but a couple of my favorites are her snow globe from her winter set, which, because of the cold winters, it would often break, meaning that they had to replace it with other things like a nutcracker or something else I can't remember. So this is an item that is very rare to find. Once again, bear with me because it is hard to find photos of, but Big Tooth Molly. These Molly dolls were released in 1986 and 1987 and are classified by their bigger teeth. Now, usually American Girl teeth, you see them, but they don't take up the whole mouth, whereas these ones will take up most of the mouth with just a little gap in the middle. Similarly are the Chip Tooth dolls. Now this is a Samantha, but they do have, of course, Molly's, just hard to find photos of. Now these ones are the opposite of the Big Tooth dolls. They have smaller teeth and often are a bit misshapen. These are, of course, released through 1986 and 1988. The last Molly doll, and my favorite, is of course these big doe-eyed Molly dolls. Now these are classified by their unusually large eyes and beautiful long eyelashes. Now these are mostly only released in 1986 with a couple in 1987, and they have extremely long eyelashes before they were cut down and made a bit more straight out, whereas these ones you can see curl upwards. Now Molly would stick around for the next couple decades without many changes until 2006 when she gained her best friend Emily Bennett, who not only is one of the best friend dolls, but is the first American girl to not be American. In this story, she comes from England and lives with Molly as she is hiding away from the war in England. In 2013, Molly would be retired for the first time along with Emily Bennett because of low sales and more new dolls that they were releasing at the time. Although Molly and Emily would be retired, you could still buy Molly's books and her movie. Then in 2017, as part of American Girl's lowest low, they brought back Miss Felicity along with Molly. Both came in new outfits with new books. And for Molly, she was mostly found at Costco, although you could find her at some American Girl doll stores. This Molly is just a disgrace to the Molly name. If you look at her side by side with the original Molly, she just looks so cheap. Like if you were thinking you would get if you thought you were getting a Molly off of like AliExpress or something, you'd think you'd be getting this doll. Not a true American Girl doll. This is terrible. Of course, it didn't go over well with people, so they did retire her in 2017 as well. Now, the Molly world would stay quiet for a couple years until 2020 when Courtney would release along with her new Molly doll. Now, this was interesting for a couple of reasons. Not only was this a first sort of hint that Molly may be coming back, but it was also a sort of world within a world. Courtney is an American Girl, but she also has an American Girl. There's something weird about that that's been turning people off for a little while. Like, does American Girl exist in the American Girl universe? Do they know their dolls? Are their dolls real people they're based off of? It's this whole controversy that I haven't covered yet, but I might at some point. And in 2021, American Girl would celebrate their 35th anniversary, and to coincide with that, they would release the original 6 dolls in their original outfits, including Miss Molly, who would stay around for the year before being retired once again. After seeing how well the dolls sold, they decided to release Molly once again last year in May of 2022. Now there's a couple reasons I think they did this. Well, one, they saw the sales that did well with the 35th anniversary, but also because millennials are having kids now and they have that sort of nostalgia around dolls, and doll collecting is becoming really big right now, so I think they saw all the hype around old nostalgic things and they thought, why not re-release Molly? Which they did with Kit as well. And with Molly being one of the most beloved characters, it only makes sense that they would re-release her. Now this Molly is true to the Molly that we all know and love, except for a different look. This Molly is the exact same, down to the outfit, everything is the exact same. And she is gorgeous. She was released along with a couple of her outfits and her books, of course, and I love it. I am such a big Molly fan, and I am so glad that they re-released her. So there is your short history on Miss Molly, my favorite of the original 3 American Girls. I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments below, and if there's anything that I missed while covering this. I got Molly for Christmas, so I thought what better of a video to make from the Christmas break than this one. I might do this one for Samantha and Kirsten, but they're not as interesting to me because they haven't been released and retired and released again and again. Anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful day and Happy New Year. I can't believe it's 2024, and goodbye.